high tides, it's the end of our 2 weeks of school. Most of us have been following the rules lately. Going to class, wearing uniform, wearing IDs. We also have new additions, like a new third lunch. Why? So we can eat better and communicate with each other better without everyone being crowded, of course. This week, we've been communicating with our new assistant principal, Mr. Ponky. Let's check it out.
Hey, my name is Daniel Ponky, one of the new assistant principals at Miami Beach Senior High School. I oversee 9th grade as my main disciplinary focus. I oversee science and PE as my curricular focus. I wear a lot of other hats, facilities, athletics. I have a lot of roles here, but I'm excited to be here. As far as my administrative experience, I was an administrator at Crop Senior High. I came from Crop Senior High. I was there for 5 years prior to here. I've been in the system 18 years. But as far as administrative, and my most recent job was at Crop Senior High as an assistant principal. I do see some similarities between Beach High and Crop. Very rigorous curriculum, strive to do well, very successful academically. Diverse population like we have here at Beach High. Those are a lot of the comparisons. As for differences, one thing I'm noticing, which I'm really proud of, is that Beach High has a very rich in tradition. Big alumni base, very proud alumni base. A lot of teachers here went to school here. A lot of current students, their parents went to school here. I've never been a part of that, and I'm happy and excited to be a part of that. I originally am from Chicago, Illinois. Born and raised south side of Chicago. Went to private Catholic schools my whole life. Public schools in Chicago weren't the best environments when I was growing up, but once I graduated from high school, I had a few different choices, so Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Miami to come to college, and I chose down here in Miami. I went to Barry University in Miami Shores, studied, started off with criminal justice, made a transition over into elementary education, wound up getting my degree in elementary education, and started teaching in Dade County Public Schools right after I graduated. I started off in 4th grade. Elementary ed, I taught for 6 years, 4th and 3rd grade mainly. Yeah, I 5 years of college after making my transition from degree choice, and right away, my first chance at a job, I started working in Dade County Public Schools. Funny story, if I may.
Yes.
Doing my internship at Miami Shores Elementary, my intern teacher adjoined to another teacher. The adjoining teacher is now my mother-in-law. At the time I met her, she took me under her wing, would feed me, would do all kinds of other things, and mentor me, and found out she had a daughter looking for a job. Wound up connecting her daughter, my current wife, to a job at Barry University where I was working. She wound up getting the job and met her, and it's from there on we've been married. We have 2 little boys, 8 and 5, and life is good. She happens to work right down the street at Miami City Ballet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How funny
So the world is a
things
small one.
happen, and
Yeah.
they're strangely meant to be.
Yes. Unique name, so yeah, I've heard a lot. Punky Brewster, Punk, rhymes with monkey, honky, donkey. I've heard it all, but it grows on you. It grows on you.
Did you get ridiculed as a kid?
A little bit, but
It didn't really affect
not
you.
really. No, not really.
It didn't affect you.
There's been quite a few of that name in my neighborhood, so it was kind of already.
What is the
origin?
Origin of Ponky?
My grandfather was Polish and German, so I'm assuming when they came over, it was probably changed at some point, but it's German and Polish. I've been out of the country a few times, but I haven't traveled that much.
No.
No.
It's funny when you live in Miami. Sometimes you don't travel that much.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like it's a destination.
I mean, it's a destination that people visit, but
Right.
I've been to London. I've been to Trinidad and Tobago. I haven't been out of the country that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you tell me what it is that you like about your job?
Well, I get asked constantly, Do I miss teaching? On occasion, I miss that bond that you make with one set group of kids. But I look at it this way. Now I'm able to affect the whole school and help the whole school, like from a global perspective, instead of just, let's say, a subject area or just 30 kids or however many kids I'd have on my course load. Now I have 2,500 kids. Now I have a whole group of kids that I could support in a variety of ways. Behind the scenes stuff that nobody knows about to curricular stuff. Or, I mean, I feel like I wear 50 hats. Counselor, security guard, administrator, parent figure, mentor. I mean, I get to do all of that now, which I like.
Yeah.
I like to be able to do all that.
What is it that you don't like about about your job?
I mean, there's not much. I mean, I know that everything I do is important, but unfortunately, sometimes some pieces of the job take a little more time away from what I enjoy.
Can you give me a for instance?
Like facilities. For example, if the AC went down right now, I'd have to troubleshoot that. I'd have to go and figure out, is there an air handler not working in a certain section of the building? Is the chiller down? How do I troubleshoot that? Get it, coordinating with the zone mechanic or the higher ups on how to fix it. When I may have, Johnny that really needs me because, he had a problem at the house and he couldn't do this or that, and I could try and... I'd much rather be with the kids and helping them on a day-to-day basis, or helping a parent and a child kind of work things out as far as... But making sure the AC or making sure the building is clean is also vital to this, to a safe environment.
Do you get trained to do all these different millions of things?
No.
Or is it something that
No,
you just...
you don't get trained. It's just you learn as you go. I'm always asking questions.
Right.
Whenever I'm with a maintenance personnel or whenever I'm with the zone mechanic, for example, if it's a facilities thing, I'll ask questions. I'll watch. Because there'll be times when I could troubleshoot things on my own and I won't have to ask by what I've learned.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I think a great high school is a combination of a lot of things and a lot of people that are all working together to make sure it's the best place for the students. Sometimes we tend to forget that the kids are our customers. They're the reason we're here. And teenagers are still kids. They're big kids. Some of them are adults, but they're still kids learning things and figuring things out. And we have to remember that as the adults in this building, that we're there for them. And our parents are important. All stakeholders have a role, but it all starts with the kids. The kids are in the middle and we're all kind of around them to make sure that this place is the best we can for them.
So speaking of the kids, what do you do when they're just a little out of control?
Well, I try to make sure that I meet them before I have to discipline them. So I try to be around, especially in the beginning of the year, especially in a new place. I try to be everywhere that I can be, introducing myself, shaking hands, talking, kind of like a politician. I want people to know who I am so that when I do have to discipline them, it's not the first time I'm talking to them. We have to build trust, Sorry about that. We have to build trust. They have to trust me and I have to trust them, and the only way we're going to do that is by interacting. There may be times when I have to get on a child and for something that they're doing wrong on the spot, but I try to make sure that there's a little bit of an interaction before then, because we have to build that rapport. It's a long school year, and we have to work together to make sure that they're successful. If they don't want to be here for whatever reason, that we're all hurt by that. They need to be here. They have to want to be here. That's a good question. I tend to think about Shawshank Redemption a lot as far as my favorite movie. There's a quote that I like to use a lot. The older gentleman, I forgot his name, not Morgan Freeman, the other character.
The one that hung himself?
Yeah.
Right.
Get busy living or get busy dying. Which to me means enjoy your life. Take advantage of every moment and try and, enjoy what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. There's once it's gone, it's gone. Once the day is gone, it's gone. So I try and teach the kids, that circular thing on the wall with the numbers is going to keep spinning. doesn't matter who we are or what we're doing, just got to take advantage of it and try to make the most out of it.
We love our new assistant principal, Mr. Ponky. If you see him in the hallway, make sure to say hi to him. Last week, there's a yearly TV extravaganza that all of us have tuned into. Let's talk about it.
On Sunday, August 27, 2017, the 34th Annual Video Music Awards, or most commonly known as the VMAs, took place at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Many awards were handed out, ranging from categories such as Video of the Year, Artist of the Year, Best Cinematography, and many more. Popular music icon Katy Perry hosted the grand event. Kendrick Lamar led the list of nominees with 8 categories and was the artist that received the most awards. Artist of the Year went towards Ed Sheeran. Best Cinematography went towards Kendrick Lamar's Humble videos. Best Choreography went towards Kanye West's Fade music video. Performances were done by artists such as Lorde, Shawn Mendes, Logic, Demi Lovato, Kendrick Lamar, and many more. Appearances were made by DJ Khaled, Jared Leto, Ellen DeGeneres, Teyana Taylor, Paris Jackson, etc.
That sure looked like an extremely fun party. Speaking of parties, this weekend is a 3-day weekend. Labor Day, meaning a day for fun in the sun. Do you know what Labor Day is? Labor Day is always the first Monday in September and was the idea of Peter J. McGuire, who was a labor union leader in 1882. He proposed a celebration dedicated to the social and economic achievements in American workers. The first Labor Day took place on September 5th of 1882 in New York City, and continued every year after that. It was considered a working man's holiday. The idea spilled like wildfire, and soon in 1894 became a legal holiday. Today, our Labor Day is considered a fun day at the beach, barbecues with family, summer weekend sales, and considered the official end of summer. Many of us also consider it the final day of wearing white. High Tides have a great Labor Day weekend, and our hearts go out to the victims of Hurricane Harvey.